Hello everyone, this is Josh, aka the Biscuit Eater, and I want to welcome you all to the 35th episode of my long-form Let's Play of The Outer Worlds. If this is your first time of this series, this is basically a bad playthrough, bad ending run-through of the game where I play pretty much the biggest prick in all of Halcyon, where I am siding with the board, I am acting as dumb as possible, and generally making life miserable for anybody and everybody involved. Sounds nice, right? Also, will note, if you're new to the series, there is a link to the playlist in the description down below. Now, as well, just in case you're not aware, although if you're watching the series, you should be by now, this is streamed in 3-episode segments on Wednesdays, and so this is the third and final of this particular segment. And so you will notice a costume change when I go to the actual episode, and there will be some similarities there on those episodes. So, with that all said, and with the word episode used hopefully no more time this event, let's go ahead and cue the intro.
All I need is me, myself, and I. Hey, hey. Sometimes I wish I was somebody else. I was somebody else. I go my own way. Don't care what you say.
Alright, I want to welcome you, the folks on YouTube, back again for our third episode of the night. And we're going to go ahead and get started with this. We're currently running Felix's loyalty mission to get this all situated. And let's see how this goes.
Hey, you. Looking for something? Where do you think you're going?
Through you if you push me.
Hey, nice form. Good delivery, too. You looking to join Captain Harlow's crew, huh? All right, go on through.
That was easy enough. Let's see what else we got going on here.
Got my sights on you.
Nothing to do but stand around and watch the stars go by.
Okay.
Nothing to do but stand around and watch the stars go by.
Gee, aren't repetitive.
Got my sights on you.
And good for you.
I'll keep it down.
Anything not bolted down. Let's tab out. Let's actually go through things first. Talk to his buddy. Or actually, no. We want to read all the various logs and such available first before we talk to him. Logs. Acquisition logs. Independent freighter, Cat's Meow. All contraband pharmaceutical. Summary, brought down, salvage cargo, ransom crew. Independent freighter, getaway sticks. Hull, subversive literature, brought down, salvage cargo, crew joined up. Freighter, werewolf. Oh, I'm getting a notice that my headphones are actually dying. 1 second, we'll just plug the cord in real quick. Been a long day of use. Had several meetings at work, and now doing this is not entirely surprising that they're running out of juice. Okay, so freighter, werewolf, hull, engine parts. Summary, brought down, salvage cargo, crew jettison, and escape pod. As usual, we were able to intercept these ships despite how cleverly they masked their heat signatures. Our patron pulled through again with that tracking data. Don't know how they get their hands on it, but we're in no position to refuse charity. Memo. Crew, I'm beginning to wonder about our patron. When we opened up our scanners and sniffed the system for our latest Wildcat, we picked up a signal from a corporate freighter nearby. It was hauling 10 times more cargo than our target. No sooner did we scan it than a message came through ordering us to go after the Wildcat instead. Something doesn't add up. Until I can answer, stay skeptical. One last entry. Pirate code. Rule number 1, Harlow's the boss. Rule number 2, F the board. Rule number 3, why are you still reading, pig? Wake up. If you're seeing this, the board already owns you. You were looking for the rules. Why? Because life's a game to you? Maybe you like being played. You guzzle down that sense of security like it's purple-berry flavored opium. F rules and F terminals. It's not a revolution if we're using the weapons they raised against us time and time again. From the front lines of the riots to the corporate sit-ins and error. Document Pirates Code has exceeded character limit. Just an outlaw. Blood splatter.
Been ages since we had a good haul. No freighters, no jobs, no contracts in weeks. We're standing around kicking rocks.
Alright, here's your buddy.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see, or a you've aged, old man?
Well, this is awkward.
So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but he's earned his keep with us.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy.
Felix had plenty to say about you.
I imagine he has. I was a mentor to the boy during his formative years. You might say I have an elder brotherly interest in his development.
Oh, would have been nice to know that sometime in the last, hang on, doing some math? Half a decade?
I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him.
Don't allow me to enlighten you. Felix is loyal to me.
I understand that Felix is part of your crew, at least for now. If the thought of losing him troubles you, then understand that you're helping him solve a problem for an old friend. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely.
What did Trask do to deserve death?
Ratted us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
What do you think, Felix?
Clyde offered me a hand when nobody else would. I'd say I owe him a good turn.
There you have it, Captain. A favor for an old friend.
There's more to this than you're letting on.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token.
How well do you know Felix?
Well enough. It's been a few years, but I still remember a thing or two. You had a chip on your shoulder. You'd argue over anything, and you'd never back down.
What do you mean, had? And for the record, you never could admit when you lost an argument.
You see what I had to deal with?
There's something I'd like to ask you.
Let's hear it.
Felix tells me you disappeared one day.
I was working on this plan for years, saving every bit I could, drawing plans, biding my time. I never intended to spend my life laboring on the groundbreaker. When the opportunity presented itself, I did what I had to do. I left.
You might have said something.
I had some ugly business in Scylla. If I told you, I would have implicated you.
Want to elaborate on that?
Hephaestus controlled mining operations all over Scylla. Most of these operations failed. The company pulled out and abandoned their facilities. Mostly abandoned anyway. This one was running on a skeleton crew. My associates and I seized control in a matter of minutes.
You said you were working on something big. Was this it?
A revolution is the work of a lifetime, Captain. I've spent my life preparing for the day of Halcyon's reckoning. Everything you see around you is the result of that preparation. A base of operations, loyal soldiers, freedom from the board's oversight.
Sounds like you got some plan to overthrow the board.
Hardly. The board is rotting from the inside. Tomorrow, next year, a generation from now, eventually, the board will fall to pieces. Entropy is the natural state of the universe, Captain. All systems inevitably dissolve. When that day comes to Halcyon, we will be ready.
What makes you think you're free?
The skies around Scylla are curiously absent of patrol ships. It's almost as if the board's sphere of influence is shrinking. Besides, our facility is well armed and located on defensible terrain. If the board tries to lay siege to us, we'll make them pay.
So you're a band of outlaws living on the edge of an asteroid. Some revolution.
Not all revolutions involve bloodshed and fire, Captain. The purest act of rebellion is to live according to one's own means, independent of any masters. One day, when the board is weak and Halcyon vulnerable, we may claim a piece of this system for ourselves. Until then, we bide our time.
Let's change this up.
Something on your mind?
And we're gone.
That Harlow reminds me of my old dentist, and not in a good way.
Alright, one quick moment. Apologize for this, but I need to really quick. Still having some issues with GPU. And I mean, part of that's going to be let's see if that helps any. Okay. Oh yeah, that's definitely working a lot better on the GPU. Let's make sure it doesn't do the CPU as well. But, okay. All right. So from here, what do we want? What does it want? What does it want me to do? It wants me to. Okay, so we need to go to Groundbreaker to talk to Trask's wife. Okay, so go back to the Unreliable.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Don't care. Groundbreaker. Remember correctly, Rosanna's in the bar.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
One thing. Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I will keep our current crew. Okay, CPU load is getting kind of high here. Just in case it may crash again. I hope not. But I'm thinking whatever background process previously was causing me trouble.
Mock apple cider.
I think it's happening again.
For a hard life.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Definitely reduce the load on my
Do you have
on my
what it
GPU at
takes
least.
to defend your corporate...
You mind trying to have a moment here?
Are you Rosanna Trask?
Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something?
I'm looking for a guy by the name of Rufus Trask. I'm told he lived around here.
Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
I'm sure you don't mean that. It's not like you know that I'm working for Sophia Akande.
You're working for the adjutant? I had no idea. I'm not looking to get hauled off to Tartarus. Rufus and his band of merry gun hands are hiding out in Emerald Vale. I swear, that's all I know.
Got a few more questions.
Please, just make it quick.
You and Trask split up?
That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to.
Arlo tells me Trask betrayed him. Do you know anything about that?
Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order.
He didn't tell you anything about Harlow?
No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I.
How much do you know about Harlow?
Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
Sounds familiar, Felix.
He must have been recruiting, gathering up his band of revolutionaries.
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow, never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus. Appreciate it. No offense meant, just been a long day is all.
Okay, so got that out of the way. Now go back to the Unreliable.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Emerald Vale. Excuse me again.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Okay, so Botanical Lab's about the closest we can get to it. And we'll keep our current companions. Isis, cauterizers. Okay. Oh yes. Where I forced everybody to move out. Yeah, that brings back some memories. It's been a while since I've been here. Sure. Okay.
Come out and play!
Sure, if you want. You asked. Oh, hi.
Anyone else?
Alright. Hey, just wanted to fulfill your request. I had your needs in mind. Okay, so looks like there is a... Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember when... If this is the little section I remember when this was difficult. Okay, so it's changed out now, so... Because they weren't here before.
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me.
What makes you think I work for Harlow?
Right. You just stumbled into a camp full of armed strangers because you wanted directions. How much is Harlow paying you?
I'm doing this as a favor.
A favor, huh? Let me guess. He promised you some reward in the brave new world that was to come. Said he'd make you his lieutenant if you crossed me off. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead, and I've got no intention of dying.
Why did you betray Harlow?
How do I know that I can trust you?
What's the worst that could happen? Harlow sends a stranger with a gun after you?
Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a rope, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes.
You're asking me to take you for your word. Show me some evidence.
Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task.
If you get proof, let's see it.
I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent.
What was Harlow doing for the board?
Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse.
Why would the board buy off Harlow?
Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me.
Well, since I'm working for the board, I gotta let him continue, so... Alright, I've heard enough.
Take it you've made up your mind.
Alright, Trask, I can't let you live.
You really want to do this, huh?
Looks like we're doing this.
We just said, can we talk? So... Ellie?
Captain, I've been thinking. Something about this Harlow guy isn't on the up and up.
You want to expand on that?
Come on, Felix. He's obviously up to something.
I don't know, Felix seems to trust him.
Felix would trust the Sentry Automech if you painted an anti-corporate slogan on it.
Come on, Ellie. Give me at least a little credit.
Felix, I've worked on noses that were more complex than you. Don't feel bad. It's kind of cute sometimes. Now quiet down and let the adults talk, okay? The way Harlow is leaning on his revolutionary bona fides, not to mention his knowing Felix back in the day, something about it feels off.
Clyde's a decent fellow. I mean, it's not like I'd take up with some double-dealing crook, right?
Ellie, you're describing convictions and friendships.
And you're acting like those things are normal.
They are for most people.
Preferences and drinking buddies are normal, inclinations and acquaintances even. You can fit most of what drives people onto a bit cartridge. The minute someone claims highfalutin notions, they're either lying to you or lying to themselves. Or worse.
Worse?
1 in 1,000 actually means it. Nothing more dangerous than an idealist.
Change the subject.
Something on your mind?
Alright, we're good. Let's see, let's talk to...
Thus to all traitors, huh? We should probably get back to Clyde. He'll want to see Trask's ring.
Let's get going. Simple and easy. Yep, we're gonna have to let Harlow do his thing, which means we may lose Felix. But...
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
Scylla, back to Harlow's base. No fast jump. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, my CPU keeps creeping up again, which makes me think that there's some back-end process that's causing this. Hopefully this doesn't continue, it doesn't turn out to be the norm. See, last time, I actually ended up...
That machine stole my bits. Why do we even have one of these?
Actually wound up turning him in. Said it was an event. Didn't pay close attention to where he said the event was. He said there was an event. Here we go. Oh, that's not an event. Ah, there we go. These receipts detail payments made to C. Harlow on behalf of the board for freelancing services. Included are the names of several freighters targeted by Harlow's crew, their manifests, and the sum value of all cargo delivered to the board authorities. So we can confront him, or just let it go. But we're not going to confront him. I am going to see if this gives me access to anything else. Nope.
What's the word?
It's done. Trask is dead.
So it is. Thus ends Rufus Trask. Once a sensible man, by and by a fool, presently a corpse.
Hope his gas bag's paying us by the hour.
I hope you never have to discover what it is like, Captain. The relief one feels when a mutiny comes to an end.
Trask had some things to say about you, and I've got my own misgivings.
Never mind that, Felix. Trask was just telling a tale to save his own skin.
Of that, I have no doubt. You were wise to ignore his lies. But I understand you did not do this to help me, but to help Felix. He's proven himself to my crew and to me. And if he's willing, There's a place for young Millstone here.
I don't know about this, boss. You've been real good to me. I'm not too keen on jumping ship.
You're seriously considering this pretentious gas bag over me? Get back in line.
Sure, boss. Whatever you say.
You don't have to do this. You're a free man, Felix. Free to disobey.
Then I choose not to get on my boss's bad side. Sorry, Clyde. If you wanted me on your crew, you should have been the first to ask.
Then I suppose there's nothing more left to be said. Goodbye, Captain. I doubt we'll cross orbits again.
Alright, see if there's... Speak to Felix on the ship.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
Where'd he ask that? Let's go talk to Felix. Excuse me.
We need to talk. Listen, boss. I owe you an apology. I got stupid. Clyde wanted me on his crew, and I jumped at the shot. You took a chance with me back on the Groundbreaker. I should have shown you a little more loyalty.
Don't give it a second thought, Felix. I knew this was important to you.
Nah, Clyde wasn't important. Knowing you can count on me, that's important. There was something else on my mind, honestly. I've been trying to make sense of all this business with Clyde and Trask. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me.
Money changes people. The board probably offered Harlow a lot of money.
I just hope I never turn out like that. Selling my soul for a fistful of bits.
Oh, it's not like I pay you.
I ought to thank you for that. Keeping me on the straight and narrow. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. Part of me wishes Trask was still around, just so I could shake some more answers out of him. Thanks for your time, boss.
Whew. Level up. Self-governed perk. So, what does that give you, Felix? Host armored damage dealt. So increase damage you deal when fighting corporate enemies. Alright, so let's go ahead and do some upgrades here. What were we meaning to upgrade? Huh. Give it to hack. Why not? We get another perk. Yay. Ah, sure, that works. Okay. And nobody else got an extra perk, so... Alright. So next up... Let's go see what's in our room real quick. If we got any new Anti-Cleo secret lab. Okay, yep, nothing new in here. So, if any news, I said I lost something, so I'm assuming that means we lost it in the main room. So, next up, we have Star-Crossed Troopers, which has us going back to Monarch, and we got about 5 minutes, 8 minutes. So we'll at least have a chance to get there before we need to actually move.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
So we're gonna need Nyoga for this. So yeah, Cascadia Turnpike, and going to drop Felix, go back to Nyoka and Ellie. Yep, I like Nyoka and Ellie for this. Okay. Heading in that direction. Okay, so can't get there that way. Can we get? We can get over here. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a. Merle.
Whew, here we go. I haven't set foot in here since... Well, I'm ready. Yeah, right? Yeah. Here we go.
All right. No, we're over time. I said I'd end at 10. It's the 10